So in today's video, we're going to do exercise 5.4, can reach end. So in this exercise, we get an array. So let's say it's 3, 3, 2, 0, 1. So our function needs to return boolean, so true or false, meaning that can we get from this spot to the last index of array, right? And these numbers are just steps. So from this position we can advance 1, 2, or 3 steps, right? So if we start to solve this by hand, we can advance from the first index to this guy here, and then we can advance 2 steps, and we're at the end of this array, so we can just return true. Right? If we have another example, let's say 0 and 2, right? So we basically start from here, and we cannot advance to the last step. That's why we return false. Okay, cool. So way to solve this is that start at the beginning, and at each step we calculate furthest that we can go from this index, right? So our farthest is now 3, and we will be actually moving along each element inside the array if it's smaller than or equal to farthest, right? Because and now farthest still 3, and we're at the end of the array. So this is our basic implementation. So let's talk about time space complexity for this guy. So for time, we will be traversing over each element in the worst case, so it's O of n, but we could also have example like 5, 0, 0, and in this case, like, we can absolutely reach n just by O of 1, right? But in worst case, it's O of n. Okay, and then for space, we'll not be using any additional space, so it's O of 1. Oops. So let's just quickly implement this function. So we have one array as an argument. We'll have a variable. Let's just initialize I, farthest, and last index. So we have 0 for I, 0 for farthest, and last index, and just length of array minus 1. Okay, and then while, and we have a check, like, can we process this? We can do that if I is less than or equal to farthest. If this is not the case, we cannot go in the while loop, and we need to check. We need to check if farthest is less than last index. Because if our farthest is already on the last index, we don't need to go any further. It's already, we know that we will return true from the function. Okay. Right. So while we are in this loop, we need to update farthest, and it's between max of current value and the candidate, which is current index plus steps, right? Okay, we can advance I, and once we're out of this loop, we can just return if farthest is greater than or equal to last index. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's just quickly implement this in code and run the test. Is less than or equal to farthest. And we can just return what we have in the farthest. So it needs to be greater than equal to last index. Let's just quickly check the code. So we're initializing all the variables. We have our while loop. So yeah, we need to check the while loop, and this equals, it's often prone to any off by one errors. So while I is less than or equal to farthest, it looks good. Cool. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's run the tests. And they all pass. Thanks for watching, and until next time. Bye.